Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, I'm up in the mountains, back up in the Ochiko Mountains, Central Oregon, on an early March morning, and just came through a nice snowstorm. You can see the fresh snow on the ground around me. And I wanted to do a traditional flint and steel fire for you guys up here. So I've got my little flint and steel kit that I always carry, a little container of char cloth. Altoids cans work. I just prefer this little round container because it's so small and convenient. I have a piece of flint. This one has been used a lot. It's got a lot of sharp edges on it, but that's actually okay because in a pinch it'd make a backup knife. And I have my striker, and this is something I picked up a few years ago on Amazon, and I've used it for most of my flint and steel fires, and it works perfectly. So this little kit, carry it in my pocket or in a backpack or whatever, and when I want to work on traditional fire making skills, I'll go to this kit and give it a shot. Other thing I carry is a tinder pouch. This is from Hidden Woodsman. Basically just roll it down and snap it. So you can snap it right to the side of your backpack, on back of it, or if it's pouring down rain, shove it down inside your pack. But when you're practicing traditional skills, like a bow drill fire or a flint and steel fire, one thing to bear in mind is neither the traditional mountain men nor the natives, if you've done any reading on Otz the Iceman, in fact, he himself carried tinder with him. Native Americans, the mountain men, Otz the Iceman, they didn't wait until a March snowstorm hit to suddenly realize, hey, I need to try to find some dry tinder. Good luck with that. They all carried tinder with them. You like Google Otz the Iceman, and they found the remains of him frozen in the ice, and he had a survival kit with him and knife, and he had some kind of tinder source and was using some kind of a flint rocks to strike and get sparks and to ignite that. So when you're out doing skills like this, don't wait, come out here, think, oh, I'll find some dry tinder when I get there. Carry it with you. Have some type of a pouch like this with your pack. Bring some stuff home, dry it, by your wood stove, fireplace heater, whatever. And then keep your pouch full and take it up to the mountains with you. And then when you want to do a bow drill or flint and steel, you can have dry tinder when you need it. And in the summer or spring, when stuff's dry, you can gather up fresh and use it on the spot or add to your pouch. I was just saying the sun was breaking through the clouds. It wasn't but a short time ago that it was snowing hard. Now the sun's coming, and behind it looks like more clouds. So while we're in between storms, so some of my favorite resources to gather are sagebrush bark. Anytime I'm on the high desert, I'll gather sagebrush bark. Juniper bark also works great. Both of them, you just want to make sure you break the fibers down and start pulling them up and breaking them apart, so you've got little fine hairs in the middle to catch and hold that flame. So I've got myself some sagebrush bark. I've also got, you can see it right here, I've got some cattail down, little bit of cattail down mixed in it. So cattail down, thistle down, if it's good and dry, also works quite well. Dried grasses, I'll pick up some in this fall and summer, some really dried brown grasses, and I'll put them in my pouch. Stuff from home that you can use. Dryer lint works really good for practicing flint and steel fires. You can purchase hemp or jute twine, break up the fibers in it real small and use that too. It gives you stuff to practice with. But what I recommend is get yourself a tinder pouch, and whenever you're out and you have access to dry stuff, gather it and fill up your pouch. And if you don't have dry stuff, but you find stuff that would be great if it was dry, bring it home and dry it. And throw some dryer lint, throw some, you know, jute twine, whatever else you've got in there. So I've got this puffed up pretty good. And I've worked myself a bird's nest, basically. So what I'm kind of doing now is I'm going around and I'm making a cup. So I've got a bird's nest, and right there in the center of that bird's nest is where I'm going to put my char cloth and see if we can't get a traditional flint and steel fire going. So, and I make char cloth. I'll take some old strips of, these are actually old strips off of an old pair of blue jeans. Just cut it into strips and put a bunch of them in an Altoids can and throw it in the coals of a fire for about 10 minutes. You don't need to put any hole in the can, and you'll have char cloth. So my technique that I prefer is to lay this on the edge. So the edge of my char cloth is right up flush with the edge of my flint, and then try to throw a spark right up onto that. Get that glowing so you guys can see it. The edge right there, see if the wind will catch it. You can see just a little red glow. So put that down in here and see if we can't blow this into the flame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to blow up into it. See if we can't get this to ignite. And I'm kind of cupping it together a little bit, blowing right into the center of my bird's nest. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Oh, that took nicely. So, traditional flint and steel fire out here in March in the winter. And I'm actually not going to build a fire right here, right now. I've got another project that I'm going to do first. But basically, it's a skill. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I have fun doing flint and steel fires. It's a cool skill to learn. You never know. Something could happen. You might be out here and you might have a little container. This little metal container would work just fine, or an Altoids can. I could take my knife. I could cut some strips off of my cotton t-shirt or off of the bottom of my blue jeans and put them in here if I already had a fire going, and make, you know, a dozen little patches so that I had a way to get more fires. And as long as you got a dry tinder source with you, you have a way to make fire. But it's just a lot of fun to practice, and it's a skill that I think most people will enjoy learning. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to Ochiko Bushcraft. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as the spring weather is approaching and stuff, I pray that you all get out there and enjoy yourself.